Good evening, class. My name is Brandon Kendrick, and I will be doing my book review of Organizing Genius, The Secrets of Creative Collaboration by Warren Bennis and Patricia Biederman. Before I get into the context of the text, I'll give you a little history of the authors. Warren Bennis was born in Los Angeles, California in 1925. He is an organizational consultant and author who is widely regarded as the pioneer of the contemporary field of leadership. Bennis is a university professor and distinguished professor of Business Administration and founding chairman of the Leadership Institute in USC. Biederman believes that most great leaders are people who spend time with the greats. They inspire hope, they look facts in the eye, they recognize serious dangers, disruptive inflection points, and they have their eyes open like 360 degrees. Bennis prides his legacy on capturing the zeitgeist of history from Roosevelt to Obama, reflecting through experience. Patricia Ward Biederman is an award-winning staff writer for the Los Angeles Times and longtime collaborator of Bennis. As one who prides myself with being creative, my mind races every day with new ways to creatively enhance every facet of business that I'm involved in. If you can look inside my head at any given hour and the day, you will be bombarded with many thoughts. My theory on my thought process is there are very few innovations under the sun, but the creative part of me is thinking, how can I enhance what is already here? Warren Bennis and Patricia Ward Biederman describe the qualities that generate great groups capable of meaningful creative collaboration, despite the myth of individual achievement and heroic leadership. The authors dive into major breakthroughs accomplished by the great group. The authors conclude with lessons you can apply to bring the dedication of great groups to bear within your own organization. The book is pretty much about the big myth and the idea of the triumphant individual or hero or superstar that is ingrained in our American psyche, but in the present world that we live in today, cooperation and teamwork are the order of the day, and most jobs require group work. The book presents insights on how and why few groups rise to greatness and shows how great groups transform today's workplaces. The group focuses on 7 groups that have an enduring impact. Walt Disney Studio, Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, Park, Apple, Lockheed Skunk Works, Black Mountain College, which is an influential art school, the Manhattan Project, which is a dynamic that ushered in the nuclear age, the Clinton campaign, which his campaign was able to put a Democrat in office since Jimmy Carter. Often great groups unite around the vision of the charismatic leader and work toward the leader's goal with obsessive commitment. Bennis and Biederman spend most of the book describing the workings of these groups. These groups were chosen for the 20th century groups based in the United States. This was the age of collective action, and the groups have altered our shared reality. The groups are made up of gifted people who have achieved and produced something new and widely influential that brought collaboration elsewhere. Each of these groups put a dent in the universe, so to speak. All but one was created, something substantial and external to the group. These groups feel it's their ordained right to be creative, and is a war raging to bring this creativity to life. Leaders who motivate these groups find the greatness in the groups. Great groups are guided by intrinsic rewards. Money doesn't matter, career doesn't matter, the project is all. Social life takes a hit because this isn't a job, it's a mission. Most of these creative groups have shabby work areas or not up to par confines. Most of them have family starting ports and garages, small rooms that were very plain. It's like finding great things in a tacky room. All great groups have extraordinary leaders and lose their way when the visionary head is lost. One thing that I found interesting is most important thing young members bring is this delusional confidence and his believed lack of experience is an asset. And if these recruits have no idea why it's impossible, it totally goes against the norm and a perfect concept for breaking all the rules. Experience makes people more realistic and not good thing. Not good thing realism time forces people to taste mortality. Martin Seligman states, he's a psychologist of realism. It's a risk factor for depression. It's attended to heals the inability to act and loss of self-trust. Members of great groups don't fear technology. They embrace curiosity, and it fuels every great group. The members are engaged in discovery that is more of the reward than solving the problem. Urgent minds want to get to the bottom of every problem. As far as management, so most people that are in these creative groups don't want to be managed. They want to be led. Knowledge workers can't be managed, according to Peter Drucker. The leader of the great groups must command unusual respect, someone who great people think is worthy to listen to. The leader has to be great. He inspires trust and he deserves it. Great leaders become one with the dream. Great leaders allow workers to do their best work with minimal interference. A couple quotes that I've learned from this is if you miss 100 shots, you will miss 100 shots that you don't take. Failure is good, but don't make it a habit. Greatness starts with superb people. Great groups of leaders create each other. Every great group has a strong leader. The leaders of the great groups love talent and know where to find it. Great groups are full of talented people who can work together. Great groups, like I said before, think they're on a mission from God. Every great group is an island, but an island with a bridge to the mainland. Great groups have their own culture. They are not isolated, but have language and nuances that keep non-members away. Great groups view themselves as winning underdogs. Great groups have an enemy, an antagonist, and protagonist approach, except people in great groups have blinders on. They're focused on whatever their task is. Great groups are very optimistic. In great groups, the right person has the right job. Everybody is aligned with their talents. Great groups, they not only brainstorm, but they see it through. They meet troubles face to face. And when the struggle is against them, they find a way to finish the project. Great work is it's its own reward. Nothing more gratifying than producing. It's like a teacher who teaches for very little money, but the love of education members of great groups would say, I would have done this for work. I would have done this work for nothing. I would relate it to athletes who play for the love of the game. Overall, this book is a detailed look at the complexities of great groups and the internal and external elements that attribute to the good and the bad of groups. It defines and redefines how groups are looked at by influential focus groups. It takes an in-depth look at the overall makeup of what defines a group. The book closes out with a compelling quote that even in a great group, you can't think so hard that you forget to think. So I challenge everyone to be innovative and open your mind and think. This has been my book review. Hope you all enjoyed it and take care. Signing out.